Although he started off as a respected roast artist, David Lucas has become the laughingstock of the comedy scene, and not in a good way.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Who do you think has done more damage to David Lucas's career? Me, you, or David Lucas?
I'm going to say you.
Me?
Definitely.
David cut his teeth at the Comedy Store's roast battles, but came into the public eye when Tony Hinchcliffe made him a regular on the podcast Kill Tony. Kill Tony is the #1 podcast in comedy, or at least that's just something Tony says.
With a new 60 seconds, live on Kill Tony, the #1 live podcast in the world. Vanessa Johnston.
Are you #1 now?
Yeah, it's something I just say. Vanessa Johnston, everybody.
Yeah.
David first impressed Tony during his post-set interview, where Tony asks a few personal questions about the comics that have just performed. David immediately began roasting the guest. Tony loved it, and a friendship was born.
They fucking hang shoes, right? No?
That's what white people do. They watch a whole bunch of black television shows. Y'all get a kick out of that shit. You probably got like a black fetish, you know?
All right, well,
Oh,
fucking
shit. David taking shots at the guest.
From then on, episode after episode, David would perform a new minute of stand-up comedy, then turn to Tony, and the two would start roasting each other.
Awesome.
Don't Tony look like he made out of wood?
All right.
Motherfucker look like a ventriloquist dummy.
Got me good. Who would have guessed I'd get schooled by the nutty professor himself? David Lucas coming in bigger and blacker than ever. I mean, just absolute weight has been gained for sure. You look like the climax.
I'm smaller, you fucking.
Look like the climax of Oppenheimer.
Nigga, why you?
Really? I mean, you got.
Why you put on white, bitch? You about to get baptized, nigga? Your ass. They dipped that nigga in the water, booty first, boy.
But only a few months after David started on Kill Tony, tragedy struck the world, and stand-up comedy was hit with a deadly strike.
Beauty supply store and get some eyebrows.
I'm gonna loot a Wendy's.
It's pretty sad, I guess.
Look at that shit, bro.
I know, look at that.
This shit does make me like
Is that a cop car?
That's all the cop cars. Look, they're all spray painted and.
Due to the 2020 pandemic, the Comedy Store was closed, which put David out of work. Then, after the BLM protests and riots, Los Angeles became a dangerous place to live. So when Tony Hinchcliffe moved the show to Austin, Texas, David tagged along. Kill Tony fans immediately accepted him as a staple of the show, and because of this Kill Tony bump, David was able to start touring around the country as an opener for names as big as Pauly Shore and Joe Rogan. David was making money, gaining fans, and establishing a career all his own.
I got 12 years watching the Joe Rogan pod. That's embarrassing.
It had to be a long time ago because Joe fly private now.
Yeah, he probably should. That was back in the day.
I mean, $250 million from Spotify.
You'd fly private too?
With him. With him.
But strangely, after David grew more successful, he started making fewer and fewer appearances on Kill Tony. Before long, David had all but abandoned the show that was supposed to be modeling him into a professional comic. This lack of appearance was upsetting to fans, who began to feel as though David only came on to Kill Tony to plug his road shows and tour dates. David ended his podcast with William Montgomery, another cast member of Kill Tony, and started his own show where he interviews comedians next to a river in Austin.
Right. We don't have as many dates as people like you, but we're building up to that. We're trying to get it to smaller. Yeah, in time. We have to build it. Just get the booking.
Mean, this is going into my 2.5 year of touring.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is going into year 2.5. In the summer will be 2 years. This coming summer will be 2 years.
Yeah.
That I've been headlining.
With his feet in two different boats, David was posed with a choice. He could either test himself and continue to forge his way alone, or he could go back to being a regular on Kill Tony and hone his craft for a few more years. Unfortunately for David, when he isn't roasting Tony Hinchcliffe, many believe that he's just not funny. His unoriginal material feels like it's stolen from street jokes or school children.
The craziest shit is when he said, people are dying that have never died before. I'm like, nigga, that's normally how it works. Unless we're talking about The Walking Dead, man.
During one of his rare appearances on Kill Tony in 2024, David tested his roasting skills against veteran comic Harland Williams. Critics, comics, and comment sections agree David did not get the better of this exchange.
That's my joke. I'm teeing you up. Yeah.
There was nothing there. I like your hair, nigga. You look like a... With that brown and gray, you look like a juvenile German Shepherd. That shit crazy.
Whoa, look at your fucking hair. It looks like Predator sent his kid to Jenny Craig. Oh my.
Asses in the nose.
Oh my God.
But back to Harland, nigga. With that motherfucking neck, nigga, you look like a protected turkey, nigga. Your ass. That's the turkey they bring out to the White House. Ain't nobody killing that motherfucker. Let me hear you say gobble gobble one time, nigga.
This guy goes to IHOP and looks for girls with one fucking leg.
This is comedy at its finest.
Getting roasted by a gay and a geriatric, nigga. Hey, Harland, you don't know it, but they hid your medicine in that liquor you drink it.
This is the only city in the country where the fucking eclipse lasted 3 hours until he finally sat the fuck down.
And although this may seem like a small defeat, something about losing this roast battle to Harland changed David. It's like he never fully recovered. But the final nail in David Lucas's coffin was his appearance on Matan Evans' podcast. Matan allegedly offered David $10,000 to come on his show. Only he was trolling him.
I just see the co-host.
Hey, as long as you got that money ready for me at the end of this hour, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I don't got anything. 10 grand? I could have got Charleston White for 10 grand.
Matan was 17 at the time, and David couldn't come to terms with that.
It's been like 2 weeks.
Are we in a safe space?
We safe space.
Let's think about that.
What is this? You keep showing me like porn images. Are you like doing the same?
After about half an hour of Matan, David was quietly enraged. He threw a tantrum and destroyed the teenager's equipment and set.
Couple of white bitches a week.
I thought you said you like were in a relationship. You almost broke your phone. You standing?
Yeah, I feel like a rock star.
The table's about to collapse. I gotta back up from this.
Earthquake. I'm about to fart in this nigga face. That's gonna be different.
Matan has a way of getting under the skin of his guests, but there are other comedians who didn't crack under his teenage pressure. Whitney Cummings, Brian Callen, even Howie Mandel all went on Matan and didn't end up ruining the show or making asses of themselves.
Yeah, that's not okay. Other people's kids are adorable. All of other people's kids, I'm like, that's your kid. I don't need to touch it or any of that, you know?
Oh, so you don't like other people's kids?
I don't not like them. I just don't.
You don't want to interact with them?
I'm fine to interact with them, but I don't have a biological or any kind of attraction to other people's kids. And when people do, it's a crime.
I would hope that you weren't attracted to
kids. It's a crime. Yeah, when people do.
Is that something you struggled with before?
No, that's not something I've struggled with.
Because I've heard some people have struggled with that and then they'll go to therapy.
Pedophiles are going to therapy.
I've heard that before, yeah.
Really? Where?
I read it on a Reddit page, actually.
Okay. A Reddit page. Okay.
Whitney sensed that she was part of a bit and did a great job going back and forth with Matan. She didn't care that she was the butt of the joke. But for David, if it's not an ordained roast with people he already knows, he can dish it out, but he cannot take it. This was a side of David Lucas that we hadn't seen before. David showed that although he once held great potential as a comic, he was underdeveloped as a comedian. Tony had taken an inexperienced roaster and showed the world what he could do when he was at his best. However, Tony seemingly forgot to mention to David what could happen if he shows the world what he could be at his worst.
The female Kevin Hart.
Female Kevin Hart? Who's saying that?
People on the internet. I fuck with all my social media fans. What's up, y'all? Even the trolls, I fuck with all of y'all. Appreciate it.
Cracker Barrel Kid just stopped doing all those videos.
Everybody who got it made up in their mind that they hate me, I love it. That means I'm doing something right. Because everybody who hates me and you, guess what they got to do, William?
Nobody hates me. All I have
people
is
talk shit
diehard fans. That's all I've got is diehard fans.
Do you want 100% of the people to like you? I don't.
Since then, Tony has seemingly done nothing to help David's public image. But even fans of Kill Tony have since cooled on David when he does make the odd appearance on the show that made him.
10 couple ever.
Oh my God.
Harland Williams, what's up, dog?
What's up, my guy?
I know you need to get home. Harland Williams got to get home because he left a crock pot on, nigga. That is fucking old fuck.
Whoa, hey, take it easy, bro. You're the only guy I know has muffin tops on his fucking ankles. Yeah, when he came in here, those were fucking elevator shoes.
Tony Hinchcliffe still refers to David as a roast god and put him on display for all the world to see. He didn't do it because he likes David or because David would benefit from all this attention. As we've shown, he largely has not benefited from it. I think Tony did all this to David because at the time, David fit the needs of Kill Tony. Had David taken a more honest road, a road not paved by Tony Hinchcliffe, he would have learned important lessons along the way that could have stopped him from making such a public fool of himself. At the time, it felt like Tony Hinchcliffe was making David a star, but given what we've seen and the hardships that David has brought upon himself beneath this soured limelight, it suffices to say that although some Kill Tony fans are willing to support him, the internet has otherwise turned their backs on David Lucas.